We're back with someone325 racing Amarith in the game 2 of a doubleheader. Someone is up a game, and we are about to start. This is Hybrid Major Glitches, a mode where you are required and allowed to do some out-of-bounds clips in the underworld and the overworld to beat the game. Starting at Link's house, pretty common. There's a couple places you can go from here that might be different from what you're used to. If you see Amarith and someone both checking this island here, it's not just to take a peek at it for later, you can actually get that now if you wanted to, but it is just bombs. Amarith setting up, both of them setting up for different versions of clipping to the bridge. I'm curious to see what someone does with this. Yeah, this is an older version of the bridge clip. You can see that Amarith is a little bit faster using the more modern setup, whereas someone is using a setup that gives you a fake flipper, and then you can just swim. Amarith is going to continue with some swim clipping that will take her to Ice Rod. This is also a relatively new opener. The glitch that Amarith is about to do was discovered just last year. So she gets the clip, has a little bit of trouble getting momentum, but gets through. This can give you an advantage if you find something good here. It can be a while before you get back to it. Interestingly, she does not choose to continue the route to the fake flipper water walk checks, which you normally see people do. The water walk checks would orphan Zora, so I could see why you might want to skip them. So this was purely a play for Ice Rod. It makes me curious how she's going to route those water walk checks later when she's not in a cave where you'd get water walk. She could get the water walk in Mini Moldorm Cave instead. In the meantime, someone is taking an alternative route up the mountain. This is one that you don't see very often, which is clipping to the bumper ledge equivalent in the light world to get to the old man cave. There are other ways to get there and other ways to get up the mountain. Amarith taking advantage of having early boots to get bombs and bombos from back of Sahasrah's closet. Someone taking advantage of the sword to make the Death Mountain climb a little easier, a little safer. Has the items necessary to hit switches in Hera and check Ether Tablet, but chooses to go to Graveyard Ledge instead and doesn't make the clip. Second try. This is often people's first source of bombs. Amarith found bombs in Sah's closet, but there were no bombs for someone. Graveyard Ledge is a really good place to get your first bombs, because it also gets you an item, just like this fire rod here, that was a little bit more elusive in the last seed they played. Amarith going up the mountain hopefully makes it to Graveyard Ledge as well, because that fire rod is very likely to be required. Someone is exiting this area to go to Kakariko, but seems to be hitting a lot of rocks on the way out. Yeah, there's a lot of really good good glitches in the early game. A lot of stuff that you don't normally would think of as being together are actually together. A good rule of thumb is if on the tracker they're next to each other, they're probably actually next to each other in this mode. Including some of the dungeons, which we'll see later. Someone has the opportunity to check ped. Both of them have the opportunity to check ped in the seed. Both of them having booked before the Lost Woods. Someone choosing not to do that at the moment. It is quite the trek. Wow, I'm actually really surprised that Amarith was able to get spin speed with that boulder. She is going up and down here. I think she's trying to buffer up one frame, but just not buffering it at all. And then gets one eventually unbuffered. That one frame up is important for getting this Kingston clip. If you land on the rock just right, you can pick it up even without the mitts. Yeah, this someone business is definitely a trip. I was watching the last race pretty much on audio only, and it was very confusing. I had to keep reminding myself that someone was a person and not two people. Yeah, it can be 2 frames. That is correct. No, I've definitely done it with 2 frames. Hammer and Kakariko well. If you're the kind of person who likes to skip Kakariko Village for a long time, this could be a pretty tricky seed, but given all the stuff that we've already gotten, like the bottle and book and fire rod, like, I don't see you skipping this for too long. Usually if we're putting off Kakariko, it's because we're waiting for items that make it a little bit more complete than it would be if we went there early. You can save a little time checking the tablets without 2 swords, if they're nothing. And they usually are nothing, so I think you save time on average not having your swords. Now, speaking of swords, there is one in Spectacle Rock Cave. There's actually a clip you can do that puts you through the wall and shortcuts you to that item, but it's not something that most people really know how to do, and it's perfectly fine to just drop down and get it normally. You can also hover if you can do that, but hovering's a little risky. Amarith falling in this pit makes me wonder if she's just exiting or if she's going to pod, so we'll see. I believe if you are just exiting, you should just save and quit. That's faster. But I don't think she would be killing these Moldorms if that was the intention. I think she is going to pod. As I was saying earlier, is that things that are next to each other are often actually next to each other, and there are a couple places in the underworld where that's the case. This is a weird one because you're actually at the bottom of the map, and when you clip to this wall, you land on the top of the map. Which happens to be pod. But as far as the game is concerned, we're still in a cave. So we can't really do the dungeon until we've fixed the dungeon state by exiting and re-entering. Amarith will go and open one door to make the routing easier, but it's not really worth it to do anything else. In the meantime, someone's going to desert, has all the items needed to clear it, and Bombo's tablet as well. If you do intend to clear this, there are 2 small magic pots in this room that someone is in. It looks like enemies are also dropping the variety pack, so he gets one magic pot. Which is important if you're going to do Landmo, you do want to have some magic for the fire rod. I don't know what's in the bottles. But yeah, I thought I saw a green potion. So if someone does have an option for Landmo, it's still a good idea to have, like, just to have the magic, to not have to drink the potion before the fight. Amarith is routing pod in the very particular way that we often do in HMG, where you do the bridge chest first before dropping down. Because we opened an extra door, you can skip 2 keys in this dungeon instead of the one that you would skip with hammer jump. You can actually skip 2. If both keys are on the right side, you can skip the right side completely. Looks like Amarith will have to do the right side though, because it is not necessarily 2 keys. Someone is orphaning some checks. He cannot exit this dungeon because of the rocks. He can get past the rocks, but once he's in them, he's stuck. And I didn't see Bombo's Tablet, Agina's Cave, Cave 45 that we would normally do here. And we are joined by Homemade Beer, who calmed the last race. Welcome in.
Well, how is the race going?
Well, yeah, we're in Pod and Desert. Pretty early dungeon plays for both of them. Pod is a crystal, which we only know because of the C at the top. That dungeon indicator is actually a godsend for HMG because you can get into here before you enter the Dark World and have a chance to check your map.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's not enough time to do it when you pop out of Pod real quick, right?
No. So when you pop out of Pod, you're actually still in the Light World. And if you were to check your map, you would get some very misleading dungeon info. You would get the Eastern information.
That's a good point, yeah. Forgot about that. Again, with the early crystals from someone, that's a good, stuff you gotta do, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's likely that Amarith is going to do Pod completely in this one, because the glitch that you use to skip hammer and bow is, first of all, not known by most people. The people who know it usually don't bother because it's terrible, and you want the lamp. You really want the lamp for it. It's like borderline hard required.
Oh, right, yeah, because you didn't have the lamp.
Yeah, you're not doing this in the dark, and you're not doing it fast enough that you can use a fire rod shot.
Mm-hmm.
That would be like Taz level, and then you're just doing it in the dark at that point. But I wouldn't worry about hammerless Pod in a seed where Eastern is a crystal and Ice is a... Well, it's very unlikely that you can even skip an item just because of the other crystals and pendants.
Right, yeah. I guess I've seen you do that, I think.
Yeah,
hammer skip, and I've seen Tam do it.
It's terrible. I did it for like casual games, and I decided I didn't really want to do it for tournament games because it didn't sound very fun.
Yeah, because isn't it like a bunch of citrus clipping and then a teleport and then another bunch of citrus clipping?
Yeah, I mean, citrus clipping is like a specific clip that's supposed to be like easier, but this is just terrible one-frame clipping with dash turns and stuff. Like it's not just one frame.
Citrus clipping, it's worse.
You're grip changing a lot, and you mess up once and you pop out of the wall and you have to start over. It's awful. Don't recommend it. Another thing I will have to say, this is my weakness, is dark rooms are no joke. You have access to a lot of dark rooms really early in this mode. Amarith is doing great with this one. Very easy to just like go in here and die because you're on 3 hearts. Yeah, that was nicely done.
Yeah, and so was that all 5 items?
I was not counting. Oh yeah, and on the discussion of the pendant crystal thing is, it's, you can use the music, but if you're using an MSU, then you're not using the music probably, unless you're using a really old MSU.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah.
Yeah, that used to punish MSU players. I used to actually use MSUs that didn't have split audio for dungeons, for races that mattered. So it's a really nice thing to have, that pendant crystal indicator. Someone picking up his sword, bomb jumping out, so not going to pod like Amarith did. He actually has a little bit more incentive to go because he has the hammer. But
Yeah.
it's really just for, like, it's easier to route when you have the hammer. You're still not doing Helmasaur without a bow. Amarith walking in the clouds on the mountain. I used to have dreams about walking in these clouds.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Turns out
That's
you can.
cool. Yeah, and then you just do it. Why does someone pop off onto the clouds there when he jumps down from that? I always jump down 1 pixel lower. Or down onto the bridge, I mean.
I'm not sure. I think it's just position sensitive.
Okay. Is that more common, what I described? Like, is that what happens when you do it as well, or?
I missed what he did that caused that to happen. I've had it happen where I, like, hop out and then I get kicked up and soft walk.
Oh,
if you're, like, if I'm too high, that'll happen.
Yeah.
And it'll be, like, because I have flippers and I'll land in the water and I'll be infinite swimming.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Like, you just get stuck in a water tile. If you don't have flippers, you'll just splash back to where you were. There's always tons of fun ways to soft walk in this game. The thing is we just accept that it happens sometimes, and in these races, you don't expect that your opponent's playing perfectly because there's a high chance of error in all of the tricks we do. That you can just make mistakes and it's usually fine.
That's a good thing to keep in mind when playing this. Because I get pretty tilted when I soft walk. So.
Yeah, I bumbled my way through the no logic tournament. Like, you should see some of my races. It was just me and the other person failing YBAs over and over again. Like, and it's fine. We made it. Nice sync for the two. Getting hook shot in Mini Moldorm's Paradox Cave. I always name this cave wrong. It's got Mini Moldorms in it. Cave. It's one of the mountain caves. Merit deciding not to continue. Okay.
I guess that's just for what, Zora? But they don't have enough money. What would
so Amarith actually has not been to the Zora's domain area at all. Neither of them has. Someone has at least a little incentive to.
Cave? No, that doesn't make sense.
Oh, he's gonna go to Hera, like the traditional way. It's cool. I was gonna say Super Funny Cave, but.
Oh yeah, I see what's happening. No one checked them. No one went into the portal, I guess, because this isn't.
I have to say, I do think that someone could have saved time just by saving and quitting out of Paradox Cave and doing the clip.
Yeah, totally.
The clip is really fast, and walking out of Paradox Cave is really slow.
I still need to learn that clip from the right, because I see people do it. It's much faster than from the left.
Which clip? Oh, like when you...
to get into Hera.
Oh, all you do is you just, like, be on the top half, but not too high, and just clip through. It's super easy.
Oh, really? There's no, like... Okay.
The caveat,
I didn't know if there was a pixel that you needed to learn.
There's no specific pixel. You could just mash. The thing to remember is that you're tapping right afterward instead of whatever you do with the other one.
Okay. Oh, like with GT.
Yeah, it's GT clip. But it's not pixel perfect. You just clip through. It's great.
Oh, easy. All right, cool. Now
I remember also being intimidated by that because I would see people clip super fast and I'd be like, how are you teleporting that fast? And then I learned that it's not a teleport. Oh, you just clip. It's easy. And you don't even have to clip that many times because you're going to the left. Alright, we got an item from Moldorm. I did not pay attention to the item situation in Moldorm and Hera. They have a key, which is good. We like to have a small key because we use it in Swamp.
Yeah, they got the key in the compass chest. I don't know what was in the first two either.
Oh, someone's going back in. Oh, are we doing it? Are we actually going to do Hera Basement? No, we're going to do Swamp. Nope, we're not going to do Swamp. No.
Oh no.
It's fine.
Hera Basement now.
Yeah, that's how you lean on a play.
Yeah.
If that's an item, you can win games doing Hera Basement. Because nobody does Hera Basement in HMG. It's probably the worst location in the game for HMG.
So this is him setting up the key steal, right? Like it has to be.
Yeah,
well, maybe not. I would assume he knows it.
Amarith did it too.
Not. Oh no.
Amarith's going for it. I like this. I like the... Just get the item at that point. If it's an item. Obviously, if it's not an item, you don't.
You know what I think? It might be the big key. That's our third bottle.
Big key is an interesting one because you can get the item from the big chest. from Mire State and skip the sequence entirely.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
You're assuming that you have access to Mire and are clipping to Swamp from there and not just ignoring that intended pathway.
Yeah, I guess that's mostly what happens with Hera, right? Is it becomes part of that Mega Dungeon series, and so it's really just like trying as hard as you can to get to Swamp from Hera without having to go into Mire ever.
So this
and then
is
beating Mire the regular way.
Third person I've seen in the tournament accidentally blow their small key because they tried to do hook speed Herapot. There are so many really free ways to do bomb Herapot now that you're probably not even saving time with hook speed unless you're really good at it. And in HMG, I would recommend just not doing it because you can spend the key by accident.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was actually the map, so that's interesting. So, what does that mean? That means
Merit had incomplete information, or it's just... I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. If maybe she didn't open all the chests, but I don't see why she wouldn't.
But I mean, we also did get the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, Moon Pearl in the escape is fun. The good thing is we haven't been given any diversions, like no mirror, no mitts, no. That's true. Things that would take you to the Dark World before doing this. You just go here because you don't really have anything better to do.
So, in this case, are you doing a, Skullwoods Vu kind of Dark World loop? Let's say hype all the way to Skullwoods loop before doing GT? Or is kind of going to GT early like a reasonable play in your mind?
GT early is fine. We have Burner. We haven't. I always look for a weapon for Armos and a way to reach Armos as my criteria for GT. But I also like to know what my crystals are before I do anything in the Dark World, which is why I'll often open with Hookshot Cave, because that's not a crystal. I'm not committing to anything. But there's a lot of things you can... Catfish
afterwards?
Yeah, it's really hard to get to Catfish in any other way. So do Catfish after. If you have flippers, they're really good fake flippering. It's actually faster to swim clip from Catfish to Bumper Ledge than it is to get to Bumper Ledge any other way.
Oh, I've never actually considered that.
Specifically from Catfish. Like, it's faster than saving and quitting and doing the clips that you would do.
Do you go to where the Hinox is on the dock and then swim clip across and then just pop out of the water?
No, you just go swim clip at Catfish. You go to into that water and you swim across the entire mountain, and it puts you right on Bumper Ledge, so that if it's the item you're not even clipping to Bumper Ledge, you're already on it. So it's I'm not even considering that. I'm just considering checking it. It's still faster. Yep. It did a whole bunch of timing for it.
Cool.
I saw a mirror on someone's side.
Yeah, someone got a mirror in Dark Cross.
So that's one of those don't wait for a mirror to do Pyramid Fairy clip. That's not as common anymore. We have a new clip that gets to Pyramid Fairy. As long as you have the Moon Pearl boots, you can clip using swimming. Swim clipping is the new hotness in this game since 2022.
I love it. I think it's one of my favorite meme texts.
Swim clipping is
even privilege. It's
also like it's so versatile that if you know how to swim clip in both directions, you can do it anywhere that has a slope and you're in the water. So if you're just in the water and you want to get out of the water, swim clip. Like, it's so easy.
Wow, Mire and Swamp are both pendants, so our Mega Dungeon is all pendants today.
It is. Did I see Merit checking ped? I thought I saw a ped check.
Yeah, it was like $300, I think.
Okay. So we probably won't be seeing these dungeons.
That's a pretty funny mega pendant dungeon.
Yeah, it would be great if it was like a ped seed and you had to do it that way.
Yeah, and you were supposed to just go through everything there.
There's a special case where you can like get the pendant from Moldorm, the Mire pendant from Moldorm, or from Argus.
The Mire pendant from Argus. So you go through Mire and then kill.
Yeah, and it'll just drop the Mire pendant. It's great. Like we don't allow it for crystals. Like, you still have to kill the crystal bosses, but the pendant bosses are fair game because it's not part of the goal. I wrote it into the rules because I think it's fun to do pendants.
That's cool. So how does that work then? So you go into Mire and you go all the way to Argus and kill him, and what does it get you?
It gets you the Mire pendant. Same goes for Moldorm.
I'm being dumb. What I meant to ask was, how do you get the Swamp pendant?
You would have to just go back in and do it. So it would be 2 trips.
Would you have to kill the boss twice, or is it just there?
The boss is dead forever, and once you collect its item, it's dead.
Cool.
So you just walk in and the pendant will drop. That's why I would do it from Moldorm and not from Argus, just because walking back to Argus is slow, but walking back to Moldorm is fast.
I see. So if you go from... So that's what they could do now if they wanted to kill... Ooh, there's a nice cane there.
It's a nice game. They don't have like a way to get there though.
Yeah, have to do with the what you call it, water walk state.
Yeah. So Amarith doesn't have knowledge of that either. Neither of them has actually done any of that loop. Was someone coming from? I actually missed how someone got there. Was it from South Shore or?
No, it was from the mountain, but I don't remember how. I'm trying to think of how they got down the mountain.
Oh, you just clip off. It's Catfish DMD, but in the light world. So
that doesn't make sense because he was there earlier, so I actually don't know how he got there. But I could have sworn it was from Hera, but now I don't know. Do you have to do this bonk here on someone's side?
He did Catfish. Yeah, that bonk is... Well, there's like a way to do it without the bonk, but the bonk is it's hard lock prevention.
Okay, I see. So that just guarantees and makes it safe.
If you just like walk down, you'll hard lock. So you have to dash, turn, and bonk.
Okay. Yeah, I always do that because a lot of this stuff I just have seen people do it, so I just assume you're supposed to do things a certain way.
Yeah, bonkless is something you do in speedruns if you're like on a world record tear or something. Like you don't
save like
you have to be willing to sacrifice a few runs. You wouldn't do it in a randomizer. Well, checks would. You're usually doing that from a save and quit anyway, so the risk is actually minimized.
That's a good point, yeah.
So someone didn't do that desert area overworld checks because he went to desert without the glove.
So he couldn't get out after the boss.
Yeah, but I think Amarith. I didn't see if Amarith did the same thing. She's not in back of desert yet. She's fine.
Right. Yeah, we don't know. I guess. Oh, no, we don't have red cane. Why would you do this check? We don't have it. Just go back. It doesn't exist.
This is fine if you like have a lot of like NMG practice.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. And if you play inverted, you're pretty much immune to anything this room can give you, so...
That too, yeah, you get used to inverted and then nothing's ever a problem there. You just deal with blueberries and mummies.
Moment of truth for these desert checks that someone didn't do. Someone has the opportunity to do a whole bunch of mirroring to check these. So it's not the end of the world if something does show up. But K45 will probably just be checked with the mirror.
Yeah, that makes sense because he will probably end up in the mire area. Well, definitely will end up in the mire area soon, regardless.
I always find Bombo's tablet to be a little awkward, though. Like, you want to mirror directly on top of it, but actually finding where you would mirror is not intuitive. And it's easy to get lost, and you can get near some pretty scary transitions that can hard lock you if you do it wrong.
Yeah, that's happened to me somewhat recently.
Yeah, so I would just like my approach to that would be to just like mirror in the middle of the desert and then just clip up.
That's funny too, because one of those things in inverted is being on the top there, where Bombo's tablet is. It's not an actual physical location in the dark world you're allowed to be in. So whenever you mirror in an inverted seat after getting Bombo's tablet, it'll just spit you back into the light world over and over until you realize you can't be up here.
Right, yeah. The inverted has a whole bunch of artificial out of bounds prevention. What is Amira thinking here? She wants to get back to desert and she's thinking about what's the best way up. The best way up, if you don't know the bomb clip, is to just do K45 again. And that looks like that's what she's doing. Oh, she actually hasn't done K45, so that's... Yeah. Oh, she wants the hearts.
Oh, yeah.
So Lambo can hurt. I mean, Lambo does a whole heart of damage on... I think on contact. I'm not sure if that scales with the male upgrades, but...
Yeah, I think the rocks scale. Like, I think they do half a heart normally, but they do less with better male upgrades, but hitting Landmo, I'm not sure.
Someone having a little better ped check with the mirror.
Oh, it's actually only $200. Or not even 220, sorry, 25.
200, that's like, that's a new item. It's the
Is that something
green-
they could add generically, make money of various sizes, or does it have to be one of the denominations
Honest,
that we
that's a
know
question I would ask you. The
I don't know.
customizer on VT side doesn't support that.
Nah,
but-
that's Cody. I think
yeah.
Cody would know.
I'm sure somebody from one of the forks can figure it out if we cared. I'm sure there have been plandos where people hack it in for like the memes. You can have like a
Yeah.
420 rupees or the 690 that Amarith has right now.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Someone doing a traditional back to front skull. Looks like it wasn't a skull that would have rewarded walking in the front. Well, actually would have been fine because you get a key here.
Yeah, I think there was an item on the boss and a key in the back. Oh, there's like nothing in it. There's 2 chests left. I feel like I don't know if we've actually found anything in here. I mean, let's see. Oh, we have. Okay, so I think there was an item on the boss. That means.
Are we missing a key? Does somebody think? Does someone? I keep saying
so.
somebody. Does someone think that the key is still guaranteed in Pinball Room?
Maybe.
That's anybody who came here from like 2017. Because I think someone is quite an old runner. PSA, that is no longer the case unless you're playing on the basic logic.
Yeah, he's definitely been around in tournaments where that wasn't true. So.
Yeah, and maybe like Cross Keys still has it. I think they keep it in Cross Keys on purpose because it's kind of awful to have to blind check stuff in Cross Keys like that and not get a key.
Yeah, totally. And finding the lamp, so we have all our fire, which is nice. I think, yeah, I don't know. I guess I have thoughts about cross keys that can come at another time.
Okay, so this flute is pretty much begging to be activated. I challenge everyone to like see how much someone actually uses the flute and see if you think it saved time or not. I think the flute is a lot better when you have the mitts.
Yeah, for sure. It's really good when you have the mitts because you can get a lot of places.
But we don't have any gloves, so...
You've played a lot more HMG than I have, and I'm curious if... Have you noticed any... I don't know. I don't want to say trends because it's not really trends in Rando, but like... I've noticed in playing it that I find gloves show up a lot later than
I said when they added the new logic that Ice Palace now always requires mitts. I said, I have been seeing a lot more mitts in HMG. And then I found out that it was confirmation bias or something. It was fake because actually the preset we were using was not properly using the new logic.
And really?
It was totally placebo, like I was imagining it.
Right, totally.
Yeah,
thinking like, because we have to have the mitts, we're going to find them more often or something.
But this was before I knew it. It was like retroactively like, oh yeah, I have been seeing a lot of mitt seeds. But I think I was probably just seeing the normal amount. Maybe I was just getting a lot of full clear seeds.
Totally.
Or late moon pearls. Speaking of mitts, by the way, Amarith did find the glove in the dam. Really early check. That someone might get to, might not get to. Probably will mirror after Hype Cave and do. If I was him.
Yeah, with the early mirror, like this route makes a lot of sense. It's kind of the best way to just check everything efficiently.
If you want to really meme it up, you can get the mitts from that glove by doing a bottle glitch on that screen. Yeah, so it is an overworld glitch. Does it have to be
in the damn chest or in the flooded item?
It's like the overworld plain sight items if you're on the right kind of screen. Bumper Ledge is the other one you can do it on, and Hylia Island. And that one has a bit of a caveat. Floating Island as well. But you can like trick the game into thinking you're on a different screen by doing a YBA or drinking a potion on the screen transition and then collecting the item, and then it won't actually set the flag that the item was collected. So you can go back and collect it again.
That's not even a bad idea here if the setup cost too long, I'd probably do that, honestly.
If I was in that position, like, Amarith has a green potion, I think. Like, I would have just, like, kind of gone for it, and if I miss, then I miss. If you miss, though, and you, like, transition, you will have to flood the dam again. So it's not without risk.
Gotta be a little careful here.
Yeah, well, Amarith can... this is fine. It's fine. Amarith, you can keep clipping.
You can?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, I don't know if she can now. She actually managed to dash herself out of the collision.
Oh,
So
okay, that's a good thing to learn.
once you have clipped into the wall and then you get hit, you're now just in the wall and you can keep clipping. I'd never seen somebody dash out of that state before. I didn't know you
New
could.
glitch.
It's a shame
Okay,
though.
cool. I
Now
like
that you
that.
at
I
least
like
both
that
have the
glitch.
knowledge, look at someone finding out that you do need gloves for that rock.
I was just thinking I had a question I wanted to ask about, but I forgot now. I'm sure it'll come back later.
We were talking about duping, but I don't know if that's what you were going
I
for.
was thinking about that. Oh, sort of. Okay, so similar. It's similar because it reminded me when you said it's an overworld YBA. So I know the setup that Amarith did for getting the Smiths was pretty straightforward. Oh, nice bow.
You did a overall YP in the last seed?
Yeah, she did a red goose Smith chain pickup.
Yeah, that's cool. I think what that one did was it moved the collision around. It does mess with the collision a little bit and makes you able to get the item or get the smith without, you know, there's no more rock there.
Yeah. So with that one, what I was thinking with someone's situation, he can actually set that up pretty straightforward because he has the hook shot, so he could do hammer pegs and get out, and then all these things, right?
It's yeah,
So
you
it's
totally
actually
could.
probably not a bad situation if he goes and buys a red goo and just does it. If he
The
knows
problem
that,
is you're doing the smith. Like, do you want to do
yeah.
the smith? Like, that's always the question. It's cool. There's a lot of really cool ways to do the smith out of logic, but you're still doing the smith.
Yeah, it's such a nasty check in this mode. It's one that you're like realistically never gonna do if you don't crowd it in your first time through, which is pretty much impossible to do because you never have a mirror in the midst. Like, who is a fairly early sphere.
Amarith has the mirror. Did she also get the moon pearl from the escape?
Yeah, she must. No, she didn't because she came in from the back, and the back had a small key.
Oh, she did the back of escape with the glove, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people, like, the first thing you should do with the glove that you find after a save and quit is to do the back of escape, because it doesn't really get better.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. But she also did burn the small key there, so
You know,
I don't know
Swamp's
if that's
dependent.
intentional.
I think Swamp's dependent. You can
Swamp's
do whatever you want.
probably doesn't matter.
At this point, if I'm doing Swamp, I'm doing it for Mire, because I'm already doing pendants. Like, I don't want to do Swamp out of logic.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense too, because then you have it would depend on the Mire medallion. Well, I guess the Mire medallion could be anywhere. Now that I think about it more, I was like, and if that's in GT, haha. No, just kidding. That doesn't matter.
So the good thing is Amarith is going to the front of escape now. Like, this is what you do when you have the mirror. You set up an offset portal. She used mapping here, which is really cool for us because she's showing us where the game thinks she is. You can see her little icon on the castle on the pyramid, which means that when she places the portal, that's where it will go. I think she was just checking her Dark World map, but it's nice that she did it right there so we could see. I also reminded me that she actually didn't know that Swamp was a pendant until now. I don't think she checks Sahasrahla.
Yeah, so she actually burned the Hyrule Castle Small without even knowing.
She burned both keys. So she actually is committed now to doing Swamp for Mire, which is a little risky. If Swamp had been a crystal, Mire was a pendant, and if it was a medallion that she didn't have, that would add to her go mode locations.
Right.
I don't think she would have a way around that at that point. Normally, Hyrule Castle is your backup.
So the way she got to the front of Castle here, with the DMD into Houlihan, is that a pretty common technique?
It is pretty common, yeah. It's one of the things that you can do to avoid death warping, because death warping is slow. You can also clip off the mountain in the light world. I think a lot of people don't know that clip because it's a little different in
from the bottom
world.
left corner.
You can clip, yeah, like in the normal DMD Death Mountain Descent, you can do it, but you have to like tap right or something. And then you have to do another clip to get to the castle. So like it's a little easier if you're just using clips you already know how to do.
So Amarith is stuck here, and from my experience, the way to get unstuck is when you exit the door, you hold up, and it pops you back out.
Tap down.
Is that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, and she just did it. You can see it collision kicking her downward, and now the next time she exits, she'll be
there you go.
That downward position. There are these like single entrance caves. They remember your overall position. So
Are they called RS1 or something? Caves.
EG, like
EG1.
EG2. So EG1 is like the main map with all the dungeons and the connector caves, and then EG2 is houses and shops and
Okay.
single caves.
So EG2 caves are the ones that remember.
Yeah, and the EG1 caves will like set your location when you exit.
Cool.
To where they're supposed to be. They'll fix your camera is what we normally call it. And that's important because when we do clip to Hera, Hera does fix our camera. But there are some clips where you can't fix your camera. For example, at Spike Cave, that one will not fix your camera. So you can do Spike Cave on the way down to this portal setup and not lose your broken camera state.
Which you need to do this, right?
Yeah. The broken camera state is what gives us that portal offset. There's actually a portal offset that gets you the smith without the mitts. It's a fun way to open Kakariko Village. It's also a meme. That's the thing I said I would learn before the tournament.
Which one?
You can do that offset portal. It's quite a bit more complicated, but you can do that to do mitsless smith.
Oh, yeah, I've seen people do that.
It used to be in one of the speedruns.
Right, that was one of the first OWGs I ever saw, and I was like, okay, I'm never learning this mode if I have to do that. But
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a meme. I learned it for a speed run, and then I used it in rando a couple times, and it's like, oh, it's really slow to do, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah, because it's funny because once you have a little bit of experience with offset camera glitching stuff, you kind of just know where you are, you know? Like, you've been doing it forever, but even I've probably played a solid couple months worth total of glitches, and I definitely kind of know where I'm at now whenever I do offset stuff.
I actually am not very spatially aware in those situations, and I just
like if you get out of place, you mean?
I commit them to muscle memory, and I don't have a mental map of the collision in my head. I just know what I'm supposed to do, which means yes, if I do get off path, then it's a problem.
Okay. What I was thinking of, like, oh yeah, what is it?
Yeah, someone has to get that glove.
Oh, there he goes.
There we go.
Yeah, because for that one, you have to run around like a lot of the world to get to the smiths, right?
Yeah, you're doing a bunch of like Death Mountain reverse climbs over and over again. Because you're putting your portal all the way at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
Amarith is climbing the mountain. I wonder what this is.
Yeah, oh, must be Pod. I don't know if she doesn't know Kiki, because there's no reason to climb the mountain if you don't.
Oh yeah,
actually, but
Kiki is most people are losing time when they do it. It only saves about 2 seconds over doing what Amarith did if you're doing that correctly. I do Kiki because I don't do that correctly. I don't know how to do that movement, so I do Kiki because it's easier for me. You should just do whatever's easier for you.
Totally. She dashed like a couple frames too early there.
And this is Kiki skip. I think
too early.
Yeah, it looks like the positioning is good. I hope she's not learning the wrong lesson that the positioning is bad. Someone is finally in a position to set up a water walk for that Cane of Samaria that both of them know is on Zora Ledge. Someone is apparently not doing so, though, which is very confusing.
Like, that can block the flippers, right? There's no reason that's not.
Oh, absolutely. It's in logic. Flippers can be in Turtle Rock. They can be in GT right side.
Yeah, so GT's fully available to us again.
GT is fully available. It's kind of limiting to not have that cane, but it looks like someone has somewhere to go that isn't cane locked right now, so can maybe hope the flippers just show up.
Yeah, so someone just has to check back of escape here. Let's do an Ice Palace, this looks like. So I had a question from you. Do you think it's ever useful from a routing perspective? He doesn't have the flippers, he can't jump in there. To do swim clip back of escape. Oh wow, did he do that with a sword buffer? That was actually kind of sick.
That was pretty sick. Yeah, it looks like the splash landed him.
But he didn't press down.
He didn't press down. No. Well, there's worse ways to fail that.
Yeah.
if you're high enough, you don't have to press down. Like if you're really tryharding and not worried about hard locks. Most people will transition low on purpose to avoid the hard lock, and then if you're doing that, you should tap down to get out of collision.
Okay.
You were asking a question.
Oh, about swim clipping back
Yeah.
and escape. Is
So I
that
think
kind
it's
of a
good.
check?
I like
Or do
it
you
if
think
I
it's
have the
not good?
flippers and I don't have the glove.
Okay.
It's a nice thing to do after mushroom if you're not going to Saw's closet.
Oh yeah. So mushroom to Saha's closet. There's probably a clip there that I just don't know.
Yeah, it's just like there's a slope there you can teleport down on.
Okay. See, so it's clear someone knows the screen transition pixel setups because he's just YOLOing this kind of.
Yeah, this is, I think, someone being old school. I'm not sure what his glitch experience is, but I know he's been around forever. And just looking at the way he plays, it looks like he might have some experience in the speedrun, but from like 2020 or earlier.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
That's the hard
I was
lock.
gonna say he's.
So that's
that
fine.
even looked like he was already running.
Yeah, that was. That's a really good time to hard lock because he did just save and quit and didn't lose any progress. It's a good thing that he soft locked first and hard locked second instead of the other way around.
Yeah, because he did that from not a fresh save and quit.
He had done quite the loop, I think.
Mm-hmm. He had like beaten skull and like.
Yeah, that would have been tragic. I mean, that's probably why he transitioned low. Maybe he knew like I need to transition higher to not get stuck in the wall, but doesn't know about tapping down. So he's purposely like testing the limits of this Ice Palace clip, which by the way is not in logic. He's supposed to have the mitts for this, but nobody actually looks for mitts. So it's more of a informing your route. Like maybe I can avoid. It's an excuse to avoid Ice Palace.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I question
That's
though
how I
is
do it.
someone knows that the Cane of Samaria is sitting on Zora Ledge and is going to ice without it. That I do question. I wonder if someone actually knows how to get it.
Yeah, does he not know? There's no way he doesn't. Well, I mean, there could be a way. I didn't know how to do that until JD.
I mean,
I haven't seen it in a while, but he pointed out, hey, you can do that.
He is stealing the key, though, which I actually like. I like stealing the key and skipping Pengator Room when I'm doing this route without the cane.
Oh, right, yeah, he doesn't have the cane. That's actually kind of important.
Yeah, he was doing the setup correctly, but I think he just maybe off a pixel or something. Decided that he didn't actually remember how to do it and wasn't saving time. So just going to go normally. And I actually do wonder if maybe I shouldn't be doing this at all, and if I'm going to go to Ice 2, I should just keep going and not skip Pengator Room. Like, that's something you guys
It's a fun skip. It's like, you know...
It's a fun skip. It's the map. You actually could have avoided this completely, but if it's the big key, then you're screwed if there is something important in the big chest.
It's almost like the Eastern Palace big key chest.
Speaking of which, Amarith is in Eastern Palace right now, which is, you know, taking advantage of the bow and mirror to do Pod and Eastern together is bringing her up ahead a little bit on someone's dungeon count. In fact, I think the Amarith is just ahead in general. I'm trying to think of like if there's any advantage that someone has right now.
No, I don't think so. I think he do Thieves Town? Feel like he did.
I saw a person do Thieves Town. Yeah, somebody did do Thieves Town. It was someone.
Okay.
Someone did Thieves Town.
That's right, and also got the lamp, and okay, so he was definitely in that area.
I don't know, like, did Amarith also do Thieves Town? Because she did Skull.
No, because she would have the
Skull.
lamp. Lamp was in Sea House, I think.
She did do Skull, okay. Actually, it's not as much of a difference as I thought. But Pod is a big dungeon compared to Skull. If Amarith gets to Go Mode Skull, that could be really good, because Skullwoods is it's an underrated Go Mode dungeon. Like, you save so much time not getting all those chests.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole front just is a big old time sink.
Yeah, the reason I like to do the key steal is because you can open that door. That's why it's so hard for me to know if it's good or not. It's because the payoff is much later in the dungeon. Oh, he didn't trust that. He didn't have a key for iced tea room. Decided to go this way
Oh,
instead.
and that's where the big key is.
Well,
Always awkward.
oh, you can't do that one. I didn't know that. He could have gone up. I think in this route, I would have gone up in the cross room and fallen in and done the hookshot side. And then done all that other stuff last. If I hadn't stolen the key. Ice Palace is, and when you're not doing Icebreaker, the routing is pretty dynamic based on what keys you get. That's why Ice Palace is one of my favorite dungeons, because of how many different ways you can route it based on your equipment and what's in it.
Yeah, I think Ice Palace. Yeah, Ice Palace is probably my favorite dungeon in the game because of exactly what you said. There's like a lot of nuance to it, like routing wise, whether you have Kane, whether you're in Go mode, how many items you're looking for. There's like a lot of things you can do to change what you do in the dungeon, which I think is really cool.
And if you want to just turn your brain off and do like one route for Icebreaker and one route for IPBJ, that's perfectly fine too.
Yeah,
it's a high skill ceiling for routing, but it's not mandatory.
Yeah, and it's also relatively fast and stuff overall. Like,
yeah, the tricks are mandatory though. Like you don't want to do it vanilla. So Amarith is going to pick up the cane here, setting up a water walk inside. See, I wouldn't even thought of this. Setting up the water walk inside of the waterfall ferry instead of just like going to a cave and setting it up there, as that looked a lot faster than what I would have thought to do.
Oh, yeah, because I was thinking.
I was thinking like you go to Mini Moldrum Cave or Ice Rod Cave. She's going to go for a fake flipper. This always makes me nervous, but it's totally like personal. Yeah.
That's okay. You can dash turn, but she actually can't. She's not far enough to the right. She needed to be touching the rock, but she's not, so she actually can't do this.
Yeah, she can't place the bomb anywhere that persists. That sucks. Yeah, the reason I was nervous is because it's I'm very bad at that fake flipper. So I just kind of assume it's really hard for everyone. It's terrible. It's awful. And I just find the clip easier, but I know not everybody finds the clip easier, and if you've failed it because you get hit and you don't know that you can keep going, that can make it very intimidating.
Yeah, I think like if there's something here that and I'm not comfortable with, I don't know, some days you're more comfortable with the same things, you know what I mean? Or it's like some days you know what your consistent stuff is, some days you're not sure, but if I wasn't sure, I would just do a double water walk setup, which it looks like that's what Amarith is setting up now.
It does look like it.
Because I think that one's pretty straightforward. That one you're not. Well, maybe not.
I think she's going for the double water walk using an Ancilla.
Yeah.
Okay, she's waiting for the air city spawn because she only got 2 out. 2, 3. 3. Okay, 2 bombs. Meanwhile, someone's in cold stare with fighter with. Okay, this is actually good equipment. We have half magic.
Yeah, this fight's interesting.
What half magic is in this fight.
It's super OP. But, hey, it's sword.
That also super OP.
No, do the oh, she's just gonna swim through Zora area, which this is really unnecessary, by the way.
I remember having a cross key seed where I had to do this. Obviously not required, but the thing that was required was much worse. That is not great.
That's really
Getting hit in fake flipper does not have the protections it used to have.
It never had that in glitches, did it?
No. It used to have the death just like the old version did.
Even in glitches?
Even in glitches, but
oh, interesting.
Glitches does have a difference from vanilla or from no glitches, which is that you don't have the hard lock protection from after you get hit.
Oh, I see. That's why they added it.
We actually, some of our glitches would break if we had that. Like Kiki Yeet, where you're splashing in water out of bounds, you will get frozen if you do that. Oh, someone has the Bush of Doom.
Oh,
okay, little PSA. I hope they watch this back because there's a lot of PSAs. But you can walk into Spike Cave with that bush and ditch the bush.
Oh, okay. Good to know because I've had that happen before.
It's awesome. I get that bush all the time. You just go to Spike Cave. It sucks, but it doesn't suck as much as doing this. All right, Amarith.
Okay, Amarith, you can just go to
the Zora Gauntlet while swimming is like actually the worst thing in the game. It's so hard.
You can and it's unnecessary too. That's the main thing. You can just go set up water walk and waterfall ferry.
We call it double water walk for a reason.
As long as you don't press left or right in the water walk cave.
Yeah,
oh wow, someone's not gonna get this.
Oh,
Same
it's
guy.
the same Zora.
Not gonna get this Kane. Like,
Yeah,
if he doesn't find
this
anything
Kane
else, it
is
might be go mode.
this Kane is the story of this seed, really.
Yeah,
And
and
it's
funny too where the
interesting.
bow is, right? Like being in the back of Escape, it's not that hard to get to, and someone just kind of never did it. So
Yeah, that's why I have a rule, like just go there, because you're not gonna
I'm
go
with you.
there.
I have that same rule personally. It's literally my first thing I check as soon as I get a globe.
And the thing is that like you're saying that Kane could be the go mode we're not getting flippers in this seed unless they turn up, because it's Swamp Hollow's pendant.
It's funny that every time she kills that same mini Moldorm, it always drops the 5 arrows. So it's like this is like a very Groundhog's Day-esque feeling.
It really is. It doesn't have to drop the arrows every time.
Right. It's like maybe next time she'll go in, then the Moldorm's going to the left instead of to the right, and then everything will work fine except a different Zora will hit her. So like it's like a weird butterfly effect thing going on.
Oh. Okay, I hope she like learns the Zora patterns. They're a little bit RNG though. It's not completely free. If she can make it through this swimming Zora gauntlet, I will like applaud her forever.
Oh, okay.
Don't go into land. I think when I did this in that cross key seed, I used save states. It was so brutal.
Oh, it was that bad, yeah.
Okay, she's learning.
Okay.
It's still hard though.
Yeah.
By the way, you can totally just
insane.
swim clip to the item as well. If you're like good at tam spamming, you can get that one on that slope there. Hey, there's a bow for someone.
That's nice.
Okay, this is where I would start pulling out. I would start pulling out the pause buffers.
Yeah, and I would definitely not be tapping. I would not be mashing here. I would just be using the D-pad to swim just for a little bit. But looks like she's through it.
Oh,
so.
she's gonna get it. Let's
nice.
go.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, so now we have Amarith in Ice Rod Go mode, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, you know, it's definitely still a race because Ice Rod Go mode is stupid.
And classic. I guess in the last race you never found
No, someone. Okay, so someone has accidentally picked up the pot and also doesn't have bombs.
Oh yeah, I was like, why doesn't he just bomb himself?
Yeah, that's an unfortunate time to not have bombs. You could go through that top room as well. I don't know which one's faster. I don't even think of going to the other room. I have to time
one more bomb too.
It's a stupid thing to time. It's like, okay, I screwed up this one thing. Which one's faster to fix it?
Probably the top one, because then you just took shot back across, honestly.
That's true.
I don't think we saw the big key yet, though, which means that if it's cane locked, maybe that's a good thing.
A good thing.
Unless it depends if the ice rod's on the climb again, then maybe not. But,
yeah, as long as it's not like someone apparently really doesn't want flippers behind the cane. I think that would be the destroyer. If someone just stumbles on flippers, it's fine. Because Amarith did have to work really hard for that cane. But someone looks like he's just giving up on it. Because there's a lot of places he's going that you would want the cane for, and he's not gotten it. Unless we're wrong about him having the knowledge, but I think I saw him there after Catfish, not Amarith.
I find it interesting that a lot of people I see do this, like, try to be all precise about setting this up instead of just laying the bomb and going, because there's not very much precision to this trick.
The bomb is the reason you don't need precision. Like bomb.
Well, I mean that and the vertical. Like I noticed, like when I've not necessarily.
Oh, the vertical.
In general, I've seen people try to set up the vertical. Like,
that's a good point. There's literally no vertical restriction. So Amarith also.
Oh no! Really, that sucks. There's no fix for that, right? Even mirroring or something.
Once you're in there and you haven't tapped down, you're in the wall. You're in glitch jail. Mirroring is. Interesting hard reset. I'm trying to think of why.
Did she?
I don't think she used resources besides the bomb. Maybe she's short on bombs. She's a little short.
We're gonna set this up again. This will be a good thing though. Once she does this, she'll have another sword. I think, you know, it's weird. We've kind of noticed in these two races that Amarith sort of puts off Vu and Thieves Town.
Yeah.
For whatever
That's
reason.
interesting. Is
That's
it?
definitely happened in the last race. Like, the
That's
exact
fine,
same thing
right? Like she gets to go mode those dungeons. I don't think there was anything
And
besides the lamp.
yeah, but I
The
mean,
last one had the hook shot, and that was bad.
right, and so that
This
was
one is
bad. But
fun.
just in general, like, you pretty much at most in like your absolute best case scenario, you save like 15 seconds go moding Thieves Town.
I don't
Um,
see a justification other than Meredith does like to meme a lot. This might just be
yeah,
a meme, but
totally.
I definitely will avoid Vu if it's pendants there, and I don't want to have to
Mhm.
make the decision yet.
I agree with that.
Same goes for like hammerless thieves. Like, if I'm there, I'll do it. But I don't want to have to think about it until I'm ready to decide to do it. And so I'll go all over sorts of other places until I'm ready.
Yeah, and
I consider
especially
it like,
in this case, it's been fine because they've found them early. But
yeah, but these are like pit crystal dungeons that they can full clear. And I guess if you really value go moding Skull, which, like I said, was actually really good, if you can go mode Skull, it's awesome. But sometimes you go into Skull and you do Mothula and get the item, and then you just like the next chest is the item, and you've basically go moded it for free. So it's always a bit of a question. Interesting that she hard reset. I wonder if there's like a shield
yeah, I
in there or
missed something.
something.
I wasn't paying attention maybe, but what happened on the second try?
She hard locked. But I
Oh.
noticed that Hype Cave is unchecked, so she hard reset whatever's in there, which is probably a shield. Go knowing her. I don't think it actually was, because someone only has fighter, but
Yeah, like right here, why set up this? Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like super unnecessary, but
because and the reason is because the tutorials don't always tell you what's important and what's not.
oh, okay.
Like the tutorial
Yeah,
probably
you know
doesn't
what? That's
say
a good
anything
point.
about the vertical pixel. It probably just like assumes that you're just gonna not care about it. But then you're watching someone do it and you're assuming that they're doing something for a reason.
Yeah, I guess a lot of the stuff I figured if it wasn't written down, then it didn't matter, and so I just kind of figured out how to do it in a way that worked or whatever.
A common mistake tutorials make is assuming that everybody quick hops all the time, because the tutorials were originally written for speedrunners.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a bunch of tricks that people who are rando players not used to just having boots in every seed don't know about quick hopping and will not do it, and the trick will fail and they won't know why it's failing.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, because quick hops give you a different
Yeah, they give
like
you a
landing
different
position
trajectory. Yeah, like the Death Mountain Ascent that everyone does now, like that one requires quick hopping, and the tutorial for it doesn't mention that at all.
Huh.
Because the tutorial is written by a speedrunner who just assumes you're always doing it.
Sounds like we need to get them to fix it.
Yeah,
What do you think?
he's pretty retired. They'll just say everyone should just learn quick hopping, which is, by the way, for those who don't know, pressing A when you're hopping off a ledge, as long as you're not going north, you'll get a faster hop.
We are about an hour in. I feel like now, Penny, is a good time to shout out the runners. Hey, it still works. Look at that. What about the comm command? Hey, it still
Comm
works.
command's correct, yeah?
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, shout out to Homemade Beer who did 2 in a row. And also someone in Amarith who did 2 in a row.
Yeah, I'm letting you pick up all the slack here, and I'm just here to hang out now. And watch a race and learn.
It is fun.
I like watching these a lot. Just how much you can learn from because everyone kind of does everything just a little differently.
I'm surprised at how many people in this race are actually doing the same things and making the same, like, having the same problems with the same things, same challenges. They're both learning together.
That was a very fast setup.
Yeah, that thing that someone just did, that's old school, and that's what makes me think that he's a speedrunner from like 2019. That's like what you would do then.
Okay.
And he's clearly practiced at it.
I don't even know what the right setup is. I just kind of know more or less where to stand, and it works.
Yeah, so the thing that he's doing is a teleport. It's an old setup where you bonk and then you do some like 1 pixel ups and you do a teleport input. The thing that you probably learned is an insta clip where you're holding up left into the wall.
Yeah, that's
And
the one I learned, but however you
yeah,
set
like,
that up, I figured it was the same, but apparently not.
they're very different actually, and the insta clip is pretty lenient. You have, I think, 4 pixels that always work and a few that are subpixel dependent. That's why when I do it, I'll just like guess, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and I'll just like keep trying until it works, because like you can just kind of do that. Oh,
Totally.
we're doing a left side. Somebody was saying that
Right
you should
way.
do left side if you're doing fire rods. I'm not sure why. I'm guessing it has to do with the splash damage.
Yeah, the spooky hit, if you're shooting to the left, has a tighter hitbox closer to the initial hit for some reason. I don't know exactly the details, but if you're shooting to the right, the spooky hit will be slightly offset to the left, and it'll not always get a second hit to get the splash on the other puffs.
Oh, so that's why
So,
that's why you can get like double hits on Trinex, but only when you're firing from the right.
I don't think it's only, but it's like more likely, and like the likelihood goes up enough that it's worth, if you're trying to like conserve magic or something or do it quicker. Yeah, it's better to shoot it from the right and keep slashing that way instead of firing upwards. But I do know that, yeah, if you get more comfortable with that, I call it the rando cold stare fight, because that's, you literally never do that in NMG. But the rando cold stare fight, like you can easily do ice pals with just like, a fire rod and half magic very safely, and like a fighter sword, right? So.
Oh yeah, apparently low percent energy does do it.
Okay.
It uses sword dupes.
Oh, that
Like
that makes sense.
the beams, so that you have extra
And
fire rod shots.
now I can't call it the rando cold stare.
It's pretty random. There's always random Mothula if you want a random strat that uses half magic and fire rod.
Oh, totally.
Random Mothula is really fun. Maybe we'll see some of it from Amarith, who's finally in Skullwood's Vu area, which is, I mean, it's actually going to be a time loss for her to be here because it wasn't really much to talk about here.
Yeah, and the way she's routed this whole thing, like, I don't know if she's done Dig Game in South Dark World, but yeah, she must not have, huh?
Like none of the Dark World. She was late to Moonpearl. She did Hype Cave into Ice
true.
and then reset away Hype Cave, which was apparently nothing. She did South Shore and got the glove and got the bow, and that led her to more dungeon. So she's been very dungeon focused in this seed. If she were to lean on that cane, she probably doesn't think of the cane as being an advantage because it took her, a lot of tries to get it.
Feels like it's like worse somehow.
Yeah, she probably doesn't see that, but we know it is. And the way to lean on that advantage would be to do TR and GT. But
I feel like we saw Meyer area, by the way, and oh, I see, it's marked there. For some reason, it didn't look marked to me.
So it's marked for someone. I think the other Tom is doing that, like tracker giving 110% of like only marking the runner who has the knowledge.
Nice, I like that. If you have the mental bandwidth to do so.
Oh yeah. Remembering to track it for the other player, and it's hard to do any percent tracking, let alone 100%. So. Okay, Amarith very wisely taking a hit on that spike so that she doesn't have beams for this fight.
Yeah,
beams are the devil in this fight. As a nice Mothula.
Nice fight.
Definitely would have been a lot less nice with beams. So, someone didn't get the pinball chest. I'm very curious to see if it's because he actually did have all the items, or if he assumed it was a key.
Pinball? Right, in Skull Woods.
Yeah, and so Amarith is here now, so we'll get to see pinball chest, and if she skips it too, we'll assume that it was for a good reason. Or we can just pay attention and see if she gets a second item.
Yeah, because we saw definitely that was 10 arrows dropping, so we know for sure now that had one of the items.
It was just weird seeing someone menu and seeing all 3 dungeon items, and then deciding that means nothing's in pinball room, which doesn't make sense to me. Like that, I was like, wait, how do you draw that conclusion?
Usually it has like the opposite.
Yeah, so it must have been some other reason. Assuming it's a key, or assuming it's... Or just remembering that he found both items. So you can throw the pod at that Gibdo and then walk through the Gibdo. Enemies do have iframes. That is, like, they don't hurt you when you walk through them if you've hit them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty common strat you see.
Oh, it was an item. Well, that's interesting. So someone skipped an item there, and it was red rupees, so it's fine, but that could have been... It would have been really funny if it was flippers. Because you don't really need them unless Ice Rod's in Swamp, but someone definitely wants them.
For flippers?
Yeah,
Oh,
to get...
yeah, I guess you would need them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, to get red
Yeah,
cane, too.
so someone wants the flippers for Kane. Otherwise, you would have gotten them by now.
It's interesting. I've been also seeing them all check Lumberjack around this time in Seed. Is that a pretty common strategy?
We usually check it at first, like on the way to the woods or on the way out of the woods.
That's what I thought. I always assumed people did Lost Woods into Lumberjack into DMA.
I think you're like actually insane to skip this if you're in a mode that starts with boots, but that's you know, I'm probably losing races to it from the time it takes to check.
I don't know. I like same reasoning you just said. Starting with boots, like I think gives you way more incentive to check it. Kind of a funny timing for Lamp. Like, we have 6 dungeons done. I guess 5, but Thief Stone's just right there. So, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, by the way, here's your Lamp. Like, okay, game.
Amarith doing this before Thieves. I'm trying to think of why that would be. Normally you do this because of you want to see if it's the hammer, but we have the hammer.
Yeah, like, again, this all goes back to, like, the absolute totally best case scenario ever is you're saving, like, 15 seconds in Thieves. So it's kind of just like I would do this almost in the opposite order, like go beat Thieves and then check these entrances.
Yeah, I would check if I'm trusting my memory to actually like remember what I did and didn't do. I would do Sea House and then Thieves and then Chest, and then dash down in the Thief alleyway.
Yeah.
If I don't trust myself to remember that I didn't do Chess Game yet, I would do Chess Game first. So Thieves is empty, Eastern's empty. So once again, retracing steps, but what happens when someone gets out of Eastern? What does he have left to do that doesn't involve the cane?
Yeah, right. So there's the Zora area. There is a Mire Dip, which is effectively Hera, but we've done Hera, so that doesn't really matter. That's about it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, TR Dip for like 2 items.
Yeah, you can go into TR without the cane. That tells me that you like are in trouble if cane is logging flippers. I would worry a little bit. Am I right that okay, GT was climbed, so it was climbed.
Yep. And then everything on the left side was found.
Yeah, so it really is just like Mire. That's
I think
rough.
so. Mire and right side GT, and I didn't even count map and compass and stuff, so I don't know what's on the right side.
Oh, who counts dungeon items in GT?
It's tough because there's so many items in there in general. Like usually you can sort of keep a mental tally of okay, I found everything but a map, like, or like a map and a compass, and you can check your menu, but.
That was a really nice hallway, by the way, for Amarith, who didn't get God Pixel but still managed to dash somehow like pixel perfectly past the Gibo blocking the door at the top.
Oh, nice.
Like I don't even know why there's a Gibo there. That's stupid. There shouldn't be, but
that whole room like
there
is
was.
pretty nonsense.
Yeah.
This isn't Saha for the first time, is it?
It is. Saw how
both runners?
Yeah, no, Amarith did it early.
Okay.
She did it with like the opener. It was maybe after doing bridge. And oh yeah, Bombus is there.
Oh right.
It's actually all medallions available. Not that it matters.
Yeah, I mean it could like logically put in front of TR, but I think that's a pretty common thing that you see in this mode. is that you're supposed to find the medallion to put the front of TR to put the middle of TR in logic.
That's a hard one. Like the rare case where it matters, and it's also the Meyer medallion, and you're like, okay, Meyer medallion go mode. I found the flippers. Like, do I follow them? That's always so hard.
Right.
Flippers were a bad example because they only lock swamp, and swamp is pretty much always Meyer locked. But yeah, it's hard to know the TR logic. I think most of us just route it in a way where we don't have to think about it. Have you seen Spike Cave?
I was just thinking about that. I don't think so.
I don't think someone did Spike Cave. And Amarith hasn't been to GT yet, so very unlikely she has. Someone hasn't even been to Hookshot Cave. That's...
Yeah, he hasn't done any of Dark Death Mountain.
Okay. So how did he get to Catfish? Did he just walk there?
Did he? I thought that was the last game. Did he do it here too?
Oh no, we're getting seed bleed. I thought that when he peeked the Zora Ledge item, that it was from Catfish.
No, I don't think he's seen it, has he?
You don't think he's seen it? Well, that makes a lot more sense. He's not just afraid of the clip. He just doesn't know about it.
I thought so, but I did miss a few minutes of this race.
I thought I saw him see it. I thought I saw both runners see it and not get it. Because both runners had, like, their water walk broken. Uh-oh. We're rechecking. This is common, actually. If you go in here without the Moon Pearl, I think probably in someone's case without the glove. I think someone was up here without the glove earlier and did this, and then maybe went down to Catfish.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Because he would have had the hook shot, but not the glove. Oh, it's Quake.
I'm not sure if he even had the hook shot. But even if he did, the clip without the glove is something you do have to know how to do. Like, it's not free. Okay, so this looks like maybe an attempt at the water walk, or the fake flipper, but someone has 3 arrows. I'm a little concerned about that.
And just fought Armos, so this
just
is
fought
100% not going to work. Unless he drowns 3 bombs, I don't know if he knows that setup.
He can drown 3 bombs, right?
Yeah. You have to know that, though.
You do have to know that.
Like you said, he only has 1 shot at it. He also has... No, I was going to say he has Red Cane and Red Boomerang, but that's not true.
Red Cane. Yeah, it's on the screen. Just get the Red Cane. It's easy. He hasn't done Zora yet.
Maybe Zora drops the flippers. It's fine.
Amarith is Zora.
Oh, bombs. That's not useful.
That's not the thing we needed.
Yeah, it's just 100% not going to work.
All right. 1, 2, 3. We just fought Armos. It's not going to
just kidding.
Work. It worked.
Whoever knows when that works or doesn't.
We're good. That's cool.
First
did
try.
He just fight Armos?
Did he? Yeah, no, he just did Pod and Eastern, I thought. That was the most recent dungeons he killed.
That's interesting. I wonder what fixed it. Did I miss a reset?
I don't know. Actually, maybe. So does he go back to GT here now? Is that...
I would be doing... Okay, I like TR, personally, because you're looking for the big key anyway.
Yeah, and you can clear everything in there. Ooh, prediction time. I'll give it 1 minute.
And what are we predicting?
Where is the ice rod? Is it in TR or is it not in TR?
Oh,
same as last time.
All right, we're deciding: is it flippers that we find in here, or is it the ice rod? How cruel are we?
Flippers in TR would be pretty mean, yeah. Yeah, go ahead and get your predictions in chat though if you want to gamble channel points as we do here on SpeedGaming. He got in here a lot faster than I thought. So. The odds are changing ever so drastically already. A sword! That's 2 items, yikes.
So if the ice rod is here, this could be a very close race.
3 items. Yeah, actually, yeah, they're all just right here.
Someone is has it. It's actually not. I think Amarith hasn't done GT yet.
Oh.
Never mind. Now, if it's in GT,
so now we don't want it to be here.
If it's in GT, it's a close race. Because both of them will just go there next. Someone will last locate it. And Amarith will do GT and find it there, and it'll be go mode. Do you remember where the GT big key was?
It was in the vanilla room. Not in the vanilla chest, but...
Okay, so it is quite a bit for Amarith to do.
Yeah, the whole
someone would
GT
have
experience
to-
is going to be plus 5 minutes or something.
What would have to happen, I think, someone would have to find flippers here, and Amarith would have to find them and choose not to follow them and go to GT instead.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing really that we haven't explored, right? Is flippers. And honestly, probably half of this time difference is just from not being able to get the glitch stick earlier.
Yeah, it's...
Ooh, fourth eye.
That was a tough one to get if you weren't using the clip, or if you tried the clip and failed. Like, all those things that they did to get it are things I can't do. Like, they're hard.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I think this is all small keys in the front. But like the big key and 2 small keys.
Oh, that sounds like a medallion-locked dungeon.
Yeah.
Which means Amarith is out of logic. It also means the
where
ice
was
rod...
Quake?
Maybe not here. Where was Quake? That's a good question. GT, maybe? It's a place I could think of that someone's been here. Ben Amarith hasn't.
Alright, here we go. Why did that setup feel different? Is it usually downright right? Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, it's usually downright right.
I was like, that felt different. I don't know why. Weird, like.
Oh, it was a map.
Oh, it was the map.
The small key's in the big chest.
Yeah, I think you're right. This is a small key.
No!
The compass.
I think we're seeing it weird because Amarith didn't do back to front.
Yeah.
Oh, Mimic Cave. Ooh, that's
I guess I can say not in Turtle Rock today.
Yeah, so Mimic Cave is an interesting one though because the way someone routed makes it really hard to actually get here.
Yeah, I guess he did route it in such a way where he still has to check the big chest, so he can't actually leave out of the front exit, and he'll have to just save and quit.
Yeah, he doesn't know that it's the compass because he'll find the map here, and the compass will be 50-50 on Trinix or in the big chest. So he will actually. That's good for him. If it was Mimic Cave, it would be good for him because he would leave. I have more incentive to go there. Turns out it's not. So we're back to Square GT and Spike Cave. I'm assuming. I don't think I've seen Spike Cave.
I don't think we have. No. Like I feel like we have, but I might have just been the other race. I might be like fully seed bleeding at this point.
I think someone is deciding that it's probably faster to do this from a save and quit than to. Walking out of TR is really awkward.
Yeah, but where was he? Was he considering going out of the front? Because if you go out of the front, you just mirror and then do the hammer pegs.
You do, but I don't think that's faster than this.
Yeah, because then you'd also have to do a cutscene and yada yada. Yeah, it's probably pretty slow overall. That's a good point.
If they do find flippers and decide to go to Swamp, Amarith will be forced to go through Mire. Someone will not. And I wonder if that will make the difference if it ends up actually being in Mire instead of in Swamp. Because it could just be in Mire this whole time. Like that's been in Logic for a really long time.
Yeah, and it's what? Ether? It's Ether too, so that Quake won't even matter.
Yeah, it's the medallion both of them have had for the entire game.
I don't know. I still think it's not crazy to just do right side GT real quick. It's like 5 quick checks, you're done.
I agree. Amarith should definitely be there. I mean, someone seems to agree that right side GT is the play. In terms of density, it's definitely better.
Yeah, and you gotta look. It's one of those situations where you gotta look for the big key, right? So, where are we going?
What is this? I think we're going back to TR to get the middle checks. Okay. So this level of divergence really is just swinging the game. We don't know who's ahead because someone is doing Turtle Rock. Amarith is about to do GT. If someone does GT next, it's probably fine for him because Amarith is an entire GT behind. But if someone decides to go to Mire and it's just in GT, then Amarith is ahead. Like, it's really hard for someone to not just straight up be ahead.
Yeah, and getting to Mire from this situation isn't great.
That was not a good time to run out of health.
Ooh, yeah. I just assumed she had that.
She had magic. She doesn't have enough magic to do Spy Cave now, I think. Maybe she does. She has enough hearts. I don't know if she has enough to get out. No, she'd have to drink the green potion.
Yeah, probably not.
This is looking like GT for someone. So,
yeah, because why else would you just go in this world?
At
Unless
this
you're like
point,
super
it's
jumping, which is crazy.
pretty strong advantage to someone now, because there's really nothing Amarith can find that someone's not in a position to get very soon. And the only thing that I think could still swing it in Amarith's favor is that Mire situation, where someone goes straight to Swamp and Mire is the answer.
Yeah. That's right, because he wouldn't be going. Oh, that's what I was trying to understand why that would happen, but now I realize because he can actually steal the hierarchy.
I think someone just... Oh yeah, they both have the... That's right, actually. I forgot they both spent the hierarchy.
Yeah, they both accidentally.
I think they just both go to Mire, right?
I think so.
Stealing the
Seems
hierarchy
like the most likely scenario.
Very slow. It's a last resort.
I don't think it's slower than the Mire cutscene though, right? Because that just feels slow.
No, but you don't necessarily have to do the Mire cutscene. But the Mire...
Oh, that's true. I don't know setups without doing it, so...
Oh yeah, you could just do the same clip you do from Swamp to... From here to Swamp, you just do that in Mire. It's identical.
Hey look, is that the compass in the compass chest? Did he skip a check?
Hmm? That's... the big chest, maybe?
No, he did that. I remember him doing the big chest.
Oh,
I mean, if it's the map chest, he can't get it anyways. He doesn't have any smokies.
Why doesn't he have? Did he leave a key somewhere? This is interesting. That's all I can think of is he left a Bulbasaur key upstairs, which would be very bad for him.
He must have. Well, so where's he going then? It's like
there's
did he skip random room?
There's a key in tile room, right?
Oh, tile room.
I can't. I'm trying to figure out why someone would have 0 keys right now.
No,
that wasn't a situation of someone skipped a key upstairs.
I think he must have skipped a key upstairs because he also didn't open the secret door on the right. And so the key upstairs would have been the one for the middle door.
Okay.
Oh, he didn't do rando room. He must have not had bombs, maybe?
He was low on bombs.
Oh my god.
Oh, it was in rando room? I didn't know rando room wasn't checked. Why would I know that? Why would I even think of that? I like the smear attempt, but actually you can't. It's kind of a bummer, actually. You can't walk out of GT for any reason.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny, though, that it was just random room. That's gotta feel bad, though.
Wow.
And Amarith is in Compass Room, which we thought was the answer. It makes me wonder where the flippers are. They're in Mire, right? Or they're on Trinex. Like, unless someone did more skips that... Yeah, being out of bombs is definitely the situation that would lead to this. Like, random room... you often just get there and then you realize you don't have bombs, and it feels the worst. Oh, and it's gotta feel even worse.
It must have been because we even commented on it. Remember, because he picked up the pot.
He picked up the pot, and yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
he actually had 0 bombs going in there. That's crazy.
Oh boy, yeah, that's a feeling for sure.
But he is in go mode, and all he has to do is kill Trinex. Laugh at the flippers that drop, and then finish the game.
What's even left?
Yeah,
we're supposed to have the mitts, technically, right?
Yeah, there wasn't anything in ice, so the mitts are probably just in swamp.
Well, either way, up to the end here. This is actually a really nice seed in general. You just gotta, I don't know, there's just a couple, like, this is one of those classic seeds where if you do all of Sphere 1 and then clean up Sphere 2 and kind of build the spheres backwards, the seed plays itself, you know? because you'll end up with the hook shot, hammer, Samaria, the bow, glove. You'll get silvers here like Amarith did, and then the next check will be your like go mode ice rod.
Yeah, the worst location was actually probably the fact that Mirror and Pearl were both on the escape.
Mm-hmm. And then Bow was on the other side of escape. But it was on the free side.
Yeah, because
there you go. You called it.
Trinex. Well, at least that prevents people from going to swamp in the sea. I mean, it was random room. I think in this sea, like you can definitely jet it, and you know 130 being on your last 7th crystal about to kill Ganon, not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of learning that happened, and that's always good, especially you get that out of the way in the first round. You're in the winner's bracket still, you can lose and be okay and still be in the tournament.
Oh yeah, for sure. You just like get to talk to your opponent. Yeah, like you said, chalk up what you did to a learning experience and go watch back the VOD, especially in their case. Like it's nice to have side-by-side VODs for comparison.
That's a lot of magic drain.
It's fine. There's a decent amount of the climb, right? Right.
I think Amarith, if Amarith had first tried the Samaria, this would have been a really close race.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because now we're definitely in the territory of like a few minutes.
She also had a couple, like they're both even on Ice Palace attempts. But they're also kind of both even on the Samaria attempts. So it's a little, it's hard to say like, oh, they could have just not made that mistake. But they both made the same mistakes, so they're even. You have to look at other things, like the way they routed. The fact that Amarith was a little bit later to Moon Pearl may have played a role. And then, of course, you could speculate all you want about, like, someone had bombs for Random Room. But this is the game we get, and we're in Ganon and GT Climb with some awesome music playing. So give these runners a follow, once again. Someone325 and Amarith. In the Hybrid Major Glitches tournament, this is a double elimination bracket, so we will be seeing more of both of these runners in the next round.
He just got that Pyro Castle hint. He's like, wait, what?
Oh, he didn't go to the back of escape. That's right.
Yeah.
That's cool. He knows the rule.
Gotta get that slash in there.
Now this is a practice Ganon fight.
There
I
we go.
keep spinning there once too.
Nice. Alrighty, now get your GGs in chat for someone325 taking first place in the race with an official time of 1 hour and 33 minutes. Getting a 2-0 in this doubleheader series today, not having to schedule a game 3. Now we get to hear the rest of the epic climb music.
Ooh, nice recovery from getting lotteried on the Fusda Bridge.
Oof.
I hear you have slightly better odds if you're a little bit to the right. But there's no pixel that's actually perfectly safe.
Is that right?
It's one of those things that would have been looked at pretty extensively for HMG, so I trust it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm still confused about someone having no keys. It must have been the mini helmet key.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy that, like, he still had no keys after Random Room, and if it was in Compass Chest, he actually would have been in trouble.
Fireworks for sale. Oh, that was 3 bombs, isn't it? For some reason, when I hear fireworks, I think it's bombos, but...
I would think so too. Bombos is in Saucerless Closet in the seed. It was
Right,
bombs.
okay. Like, blend fungus into bombs. That's how you know it's bombs, right?
At least these hints don't matter.
Yeah, that's true. They're just fun. And looks like we're joined by our winner today. Welcome back again. GG's.
Thanks for having me back.
Just going to be finishing up this Ganon fight here. Got about a minute and a half left or so. But real quickly, like, initial thoughts on the seed? Just kidding, we have to beat Turtok. So,
Yeah.
Alright, the ice rod.
Yeah, the ice rod like tripped me up because I ran out of bombs. Interestingly enough.
We didn't know what was going on when you walked into GT and had 0 keys and went left.
Yeah.
I went right first and then went left.
Oh, you did go right, so that's why you had 0 keys. Okay, that makes a lot more
Yeah.
sense.
If it wasn't
you
left,
wouldn't-
I was gonna do
You
like, power
wouldn't
room.
go, like, you wouldn't do that and say, like, I'm gonna lean on the fact that I left ice rod in rando room, so that makes more sense.
Yeah, it's
Very-
better than like scatter checks without like gloves or flippers.
It was very merciful of the seed to put the flippers on Trinix.
Yeah, so that does confirm that we were saying that Kane did lock the flippers.
Yeah. And if you can't get that, then skill issue.
Yeah, it was a challenge for both of you. Your approaches to getting the item were different. You had the most Monka-S fake flipper in the world.
Yeah.
We thought you had a bad ancilla value. We didn't know that. I don't know how you had a good altitude, but you did. And then you had 3 arrows. You had exactly 1 try.
Yeah, no, the infill values are up to the gods to decide if I get it or not.
Do you know about drown 3 bombs?
Now I do.
Yeah, if you just like go and spam bomb 3 times in the deep water, it'll produce. I think it'll like overload a splash.
Yeah, I know about like spam all of your arrows to fix it.
But yeah, you had 3, so
Yeah.
that wouldn't have helped. But yeah, I guess it overloads a bomb because you can only place 2 bombs.
Does that reset it, or does it just shift it into a place that's more lower?
You can open the practice hack and look. If I don't actually know the answer. And I also think I said it wrong about what it actually does to the value, and Can is out there screaming at me. But
That sounds right.
it fixes the value so you can fake flipper, and that's what matters.
Mm-hmm. Alright, now we have 7 crystals. Now we can go by Cannon. Now we have about 2 minutes left. Ooh, a chart. I like charts. Oh.
Oh yeah, they were talking in the Discord whether like fluting here or saving quit to home is faster. I forgot which one was faster.
There was a lot of that. I actually forgot to.
I think the answer was Skullwoods.
Skullwoods, yeah. If you're coming out of Skullwoods, you just walk. That one was known for a while.
You just walk out and clip
saving
in.
and clipping to mountain and clipping down to GT is also like actually a strong contender. And then apparently like climbing to GT and doing the climb last is very good.
Yeah, GT had my first bow and the other was just sitting in Hyrule Castle in the back.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you never checked back of Hyrule Castle.
Both of you are pretty late to the glove for it being in the dam.
Oh, right, because I thought it was Hyde Cave for a second, but it was just in the dam.
There we go. Phase 3 started. And that's the last hit. Phase 4. Just get 4 silvers. First one.
Yeah, nice
Did you do
blue
the torch
cannon.
glitch? Oh, nice.
Torch glitch is a double-edged sword in this
Yeah.
fight. I think you can still get 3 hits though if you're on the ball. There we go.
Nice.
You
Well
did
done.
not need to do that. Have him on the 4th hit.
Trying to get the
trying to get the
DDD.
lightsaber.
Yeah.
I hard locked in my no logic finals doing that with the bow. So
Really?
yeah, it was not on purpose.
All right, get your GGs in chat. We have Amarith finishing in 2nd place with an official time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 50 seconds.
Nice times for both.
And it looks like we are joined today by Amarith. GGs.
Oh, GG. That was an interesting one.
Yeah, GG's.
Yeah, that one, you got your fire rod.
Yeah,
Nice.
that time.
Yeah, I think it sort of came down to a little bit of the cane stuff, and I think you went into pod fairly early. I don't think someone did pod Eastern without bow, hammer, and lamp, etc., etc. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a bit of a small double dip time loss, which isn't as bad in this mode actually for a dungeon like pod.
No, and the water walk shenanigans didn't help either.
Yeah, you got shot. So we learned, and if you watch back, you'll hear people saying this. I did not know this, so I'm part of the we in this here. We that if you've already started clipping into the wall over there and you get hit by a fireball or whatever, you can continue clipping. You just start.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So.
Because I've only had to do it a couple times, and I just vaguely remember how to do it. So it's like, I was like, I don't know. I'm just shot on this. I think so. I just quit out of it.
Yeah, the good thing about the clip is you can just be any part of the wall and just start spamming clips. And if you're on the wrong part, it'll actually self-correct you. It's weird. If you're too high, you'll move down while clipping.
I haven't done that too often either, so.
You can
Probably
also
good to learn.
do sort out Hick speed and get through that way as well.
Oh
So
yeah,
you-
and then the other one was the double water walk setup that you were doing, where instead of swimming through the entire Zora area, you can just set up a water walk and Pyramid Ferry or Waterfall Ferry. I'm not sure if you've done that before or seen that.
It's been so long. I forget how to do that without ruining it. So I was like, I don't want a chance messing it up, and like,
Oh,
let's just go for the swim of it. It can't be that hard. I'm not gonna get sniped like 3 times in a row, right?
That's one of the hardest things to do in the game.
It was pretty sweet. Yeah, you definitely nailed it once you got through it.
It was very exciting. Yeah, but other than that, like it was a fun, really interesting scene to watch because we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, the flippers came out of nowhere.
I got a good laugh out of that when I saw those. I was like, oh, that's cute.
None of us expected Rando Room because we didn't know that someone had ran out of bombs in GT.
Mm. I was ready to like mimic clip up the GT, but I found the bow.
Oh right, yeah, you went into GT without a bow.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, your next opponent is Obscure Lifeform. You looking forward to that one?
Sure.
Obscure's been around for a while as well. Ran his first glitched seeds in the 2019 tournament.
Yeah, I ran my first feeds in 2023, so we'll see how this goes.
I think you can take him.
I actually thought you were like. Have you run the speed run with the glitches? Because you look pretty practiced at some of the old strats.
Yeah, I learned the speedrun and then never did a run yet.
Okay,
I'll probably
it's
do a
pretty
few of
fun.
those. Yeah.
Pretty fun. So anyway, any final thoughts from you or Amarith?
This tournament's fun so far. Looking forward to more races.
Remember to do some practice beforehand.
Yeah, that'll help.
Warm up the tappy taps.
Learning on the fly is pretty fun to watch, though. I'm not gonna lie. May not be good for the race results, but it's very good for the restream.
Yeah, I do have the glitch maps up in case I need them.
Yeah, because I had thought about practicing that clip into the waterfall or the Zora ledge item. I was like, that hasn't come up in a long time. I'm not gonna worry about that. And the other one that I messed up that I don't remember how to do was that new or I don't know how new it is. That it's new to me. That funny auto walk into the hammer pegs area.
That is actually one of the newer ones. It was discovered this year during the
Yeah,
Glitch Winter tournament.
I
Yeah,
was just looking at the map and I noticed that, and that seemed useful at the moment.
yeah, that one's pretty cool. It's just you just click as far as you can to the right, and then you dash forward, and then you hold left, I think, and it'll funny auto walk you into the right place. I thought you had done that. That's why I was confused when you went over there and then stopped. I thought you had done it earlier, but that does make sense now that you walked over there and stopped.
Yeah, I did have to read up how to get out.
Yeah, the whatever you call it, the fence flip, I guess.
Hammer pegs escape or
Yeah.
there's all sorts of weird names.
Cool. Well, I guess, is there anything else? You guys have anything else that you want to talk about here?
Sounds like that's all for tonight. We do have one very late tonight. It's Holy Smoke versus Sky at 1 a.m. Eastern Time. And that one is slated to be on SpeedGaming. I'll try to make sure that Elise has a tracker. I can't really comment, but if anybody wants to commentate that one, do let me know in chat and I'll set you up with that. Other than that, that's all for HMG today. There will be, of course, more races tomorrow and the rest of the week. It is first round and there's a lot going on.
Cool. I'm looking forward to seeing more races and hopefully getting some people on comms. Especially, I think one of the main things also to point out to anyone who's still hanging out is that you don't need to know that much about glitches to calm these. It's good to know enough, obviously, but if you don't, maybe someone who does know glitches can come on and join you, and it'll be fun. Then you get to explain them all to them.
It turns into a fun little wonderful learning experience for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. They're really fun to watch too, and restreams are like that.
I'm looking forward to watching this back and seeing why all my clips failed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. Well, thanks for letting me calm this, and see you next time. Let's get the runners in chat as well. I keep forgetting to do that. Boom.
Bye.